What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today, MSTR, on this, the end of the week, Friday, to get a little weekly wrap-up video. Hopefully this video is like 5 minutes or less, right? It probably won't need that much time. So hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully, you know, some of you are impressed that the video is 5 minutes long. You're like, oh, good job, C-Zar. Or if this video is like 20 minutes long, you're already laughing. I don't know. We're just going to run with it from here. So yesterday, I was making the call that I didn't expect much out of Friday. I expected it to be a somewhat neutral move, and where I saw us being was actually, instead of on the lower side of this kind of triangle, I saw us being on the upper side, but I did say we could be at the lower side, and it's fine, right? I definitely didn't expect it to be lower than this. Again, moving down was not my expectation, but it was a possibility, an option that we went over yesterday, right? So not too much of a significant move, right? Definitely what we were expecting, not significant volume at all. I do suspect that we will move up. I suspect MicroStrategy, in fact, will move up. And there were a lot of call options expiring on this, the 27th of December. We had a lot of call options. And I say a lot. There were some put options that expired too, but there were slightly more call options, right? I want to touch on that a little bit and keep this video brief, because going forward, there are more options at play, calls, puts, whatever, right, going forward. And those can determine, depending on how many puts, how many calls are out there, could determine what direction the price goes. I want to make a case for the idea that the price of MicroStrategy is at least at like 757 or higher by the end of January, by specifically Trump's inauguration on the 20th, and with a specific target in mind, again, that we've been talking about, which is $1,000, 994 to be exact, if I remember, okay? But the minimum is like 750. High to low here, is that right? High to actual low there we go. Yes, yeah, you hit the 1618 here, right? That's your orange line. The next area would be the 1886 right here, and that 1886 is kind of like right below or right above this 874 to 930 zone, right below your 1000 area. It's in an area where you see some congruence in the fibs. It makes sense to go to at least 757, because MicroStrategy has been pretty strong. So I would expect at least to move to the 1618. But if not 757, you're at 330 now. By the end of January, then I think something around 1000 or even above 1000 is possible. And we're gonna make the case out for that, right? I know a lot of you who are watching this video, you're already aware of these targets. You've been watching my videos day in and day out, and I appreciate you for the support. Thank you all. Hit that like button, by the way. Subscribe if you haven't. But let's go into why I think the price is going to move up beyond just the fancy fib stuff. Okay, so we're going to use this real quick. We're going to type in, and I'm assuming the video's gone on longer than 5 minutes at this point, but MSTR open interest, sure. I like this. Optionscharts.io. Click on this here, and we've got a graph, a chart of MicroStrategy open interest by strike, right? Open, so it's by calls, by puts, whatever. If we scroll down here, we can see that, you know, on this open interest total by expiry, I like this section a little bit more because it's a little bit more revealing. We can see that this January 17th here, look at this, look at that. You see all that red, you see all that green. Look at the call to put ratio here. There's it's 1.77, right? There's 70%, 77% more puts than there are calls open, okay? It's not the strike price, it's just the amount of puts to calls that there are set to expire on this, the date, January 17th. Now, isn't that crazy? January 17th. That's 20 days from now. What's around January 17th? Anybody know? Anybody know what happens to be the next available day on the stock markets after January 17th? It's Trump's inauguration on the 20th, right? A very anticipated bullish event for crypto and crypto affiliated stocks. And right here on the last day, January 17th, the last stock day before that day, that Monday, the 20th of January, Trump's inauguration, before that day, you have a massive amount of puts expiring. 514,500 puts versus 290,000 calls expiring there, right? You've got some call options open here for January 3rd, right? More than the puts. You've even got, actually here, there's more puts than there are call options, but essentially, once we get into the new year, and I wish this chart would show what we just had on December 27th. Maybe it does up here. We'll go through. But on December 27th, the calls or the options that expired here, it had a candle just like this. It was very high, very voluminous, but it was more even. It was more red and green, and it was a little bit more green than it was red. So it makes sense that on the expiry date that we just had, that was more green than red, it makes sense. Maybe we came down over the weeks to come before then, right? With MicroStrategy having all these put options open on January 17th, to me, I see this, guys, and it's like gas in the tank, right? This is gas in the tank. This is upside fuel is what this is, okay? Because most people, in this video is definitely longer than 5 minutes, most people who participate in the markets, especially traders, lose money. Most people do. They lose money. Most, don't believe me? Find 10 traders. I bet 8 or more of them are not successful and have only lost money, right? They're not profitable, okay? Genuinely. You can probably attest to that, right? 8 out of 10 of you or more probably are losing money if you are trading. If you're investing, if you're holding for the long term, you're probably making money. If you're trading, a lot of traders lose money. All I'm trying to say by that is that most people are wrong, less people are right. Most people here they have put options open, meaning they think the price is going to go down between now and the end of January, or at least we don't have the strike price to be completely fair, but there's a lot of put options that expire there, is all I'm trying to say. Let's see if we can get the strikes to go with that too. Open interest. No, we don't. Well, I guess we could. It's just, let's see. Let's go through here. Hold on. 25.1. No. Okay, so here's strike price. Okay, so obviously a lot of the calls, strikes are anywhere from 370 to 425. That's kind of it. That's like the maximum limits there, right? Anything past that, there's not a whole lot of calls for prices higher than that. But for all the put options, those are definitely a lot lower. I mean, our current price right now is 330, right? On this, I think that's what this line's supposed to be, right? 330, yeah. All the puts are open below this price, right? And assuming or seeing that that there are a lot of puts here open, or that expire on January 17th, there's some that expire further out, and it looks like a lot more puts are open as we go further out than there are longs open. I just see this as fuel to the fire, guys, right? And as we continue to go up, these puts below the current price, below the current strike price, they will only get lower, or they will only lose value and continue to lose value, and they'll have to cover. I'm losing ability to speak in this video. But I think I've made my point. I don't really have anything else that I want to say anyways, man. I think that it's very interesting, the amount of puts that are open right now, the amount of bearish perspective that's taking place basically once we start the new year. So don't be surprised if next week even is a little bit red to start the week, right? Maybe we even close next week red as well, right? Maybe we have a third week red. I don't think that we're going to go below 300. I really don't suspect that we'd go lower than this low here. If we did, it would be barely. If we had another week of red, it would be a very neutral week. But more likely than not, what I would suspect is that while we have all these open calls and puts right now that expire on the 3rd of January, I would suspect that as the week goes on, maybe we see more puts open up and less calls. Maybe some of those calls close. I don't know. But that's completely speculative, as is all of this. But I don't really have anything else that I want to say. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.